amount of size. So anything you see here, once it's high fired into glass, which is not glass right now, it's going to shrink. So here's one that's already tinted, so you can see the white inside. That's how it starts out, and then the coloring is put on later. And the cheeks get 2 different firings, the lips get 3 different firings, and the brows, each stroke, there's 3 definitions to the brow. You start with a base, and you start with some of the lines. You fire it again, and then you fire it a 3rd time after you get everything done. So there's about 5 or 6 firings to this head, just in China painting.
What holds it when you're firing it?
It sits in a kiln on a shelf. And there's stuff that you put on the shelf so that the porcelain doesn't adhere to the shelf too. So there's a whole process that goes. If anybody's done ceramics in here or any type of porcelain, this is more durable, but it's still pretty much the same process. Do I have any questions? That maybe I missed something.
What about the head, Lynn?
The hair? Oh, the hair. Okay. Some of the wigs are store-bought. But they're all mohair. Or this one here. Here's my flirty. This is human hair. It's a human wig. This is a human hair wig. All my other wigs are mohair. Now, the ones that were entered in the competition, I had to make. So she's made. That one's not. This one's made. That one's not. This one's made. This one's made. This one's made. That one's not. Here's a human hair wig as well. Anyway, you start with a skull cap, a little cap like a skull cap, and then mohair is wefted, so it's got a strand of stitching, and it's got all the hair that hangs down. So you just place it on the head where you want it, and just fill it in, and then you curl it. So, but competition, these are all competition dolls. I had to make the wigs. You have to make shoes, socks, underwear. Everything's got to be painted by you.
How about the hands and feet?
Some of the hands are porcelain.
You had to make them?
Well, it comes in a mold. There's a hand mold, arm mold. Some of especially the fashion dolls, they had lower arms that were porcelain. Some are all composition, like this lady here with the cabinet. The other ones have body. The fashion dolls, obviously, this would be a fashion doll body. Now, nobody has a waist like that, but that's why the dresses look so nice. This is leather. So you can buy these, or you can make them, but I refuse. Here's an interesting doll. Like the one with the stones, these have seams in them. So the French did that as well. And this is an early doll. This is what they call China heads. I have a couple of them here. These were the real early dolls. These are like from the earlier part of the 1800s. Everybody's probably seen one of those. Notice the porcelain's not tinted, it's just white. And you got some cheeks. I have an antique at home like her, but they're very plain. They're very plain dolls. Now this one is a little bit more elaborate. Now she would end up with it. This is kind of like the dress that she would end up with. Here's another pairing. They have painted shoulder plates. Yes.
Do you have patterns for the clothes, or do you?
I was talking at the table with some of the girls. Yes, some of them have a pattern. Most of them, I've taken patterns and put them together because I look through books of antique dolls, and if I like a dress, I'll figure out what I have in my stack. We've got drawers and drawers of patterns, and I'll take a couple things here and put them together.
You really have to be good at a lot of things to do this. Sure you do.
Well, you can learn how to paint because I remember when I first started out, I'm kind of an artist, but not that good, I didn't think. My mentor, she would come up and she'd look, and while you're painting these things, you can wipe them off before you fire them. You know, it's very forgiving, the painting process. But she'd look and she knew I was better than that. She just wiped the whole time. All the eyelashes off. I just spent 2 hours drying each. If you look closely, you'll see all the little tiny lashes. And they all have to look like the doll you're copying. And which is really hard to do strokes on a doll that somebody else has done way back 100 or so years ago, you know? And they didn't use machines that did that. Nowadays, you look at these dolls that you buy in the store, they're supposed to look like antiques, and some of the lashes are like over to the side too much, they miss the rim. So those are all mass produced. These dolls were all hand done by individual painters. They had rows of people, just like in a workshop. One would do the lower lashes, one would do the upper lashes, but they were still hand painted by everybody. talking about the costumes, yeah. And some, an instructor drew a costume and cut it out for us, and then we would just make our